This is Buying the Hobby, where sports meets strategy and every card tells a story. From breakout stars to monster pools, we break it down so you know who to chase and when to strike. Let's dive in.
And Dante, welcome back. Episode 10.
Yeah. Had a week off, but we missed a lot. We have a lot to catch up on in sports, the card industry, just honestly anything in life. So much.
It's going to be a fun show.
Oh, yeah.
A crap ton to talk about. WNBA finally really kicked off now. Caitlin Clark out.
Already heard Paige Becker's out.
Is she? I didn't know that.
Not for too long. I think she's kind of week to week. Probably back next week, but she's got a small injury, so.
Fair. Hey, listen, it happens.
No, it happens.
Yeah. I still miss football a lot, though. I know there's so much stuff going on. I know we are.
The more I look at the calendar, the more I realize how close we are.
OTAs.
I know.
Kicking off.
Already kicking off. We're going to have preseason starting in 2 months from this week.
Dang,
basically.
Is it 2 months? You see who first game is? Hall of Fame game?
It's Chargers versus Jets maybe?
No. If I sound weird, by the way,
Lions.
Chargers Lions. I got a head cold, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
Long flight from Vegas yesterday.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So
yes.
A lot of NBA to talk about. That's probably going to be a majority of this episode
cool
as we head into the NBA Finals.
Right.
Breaking news today on June 3rd at about 3 o'clock. Tom Thibodeau fired from the New York Knicks.
That's crazy.
After an Eastern Conference final run.
It's so
Tom
dumb.
Thibodeau fired.
Is that not dumb?
Yeah.
I think it's stupid.
I was just having this argument with my friend, and it was like he was like, I'm okay with it. And I'm like, I understand, but Thibodeau has taken you one step further every season.
That's what I'm saying.
First, it was first round. Then it was knocked in second round. Then you're getting knocked in the Eastern Conference Finals. What's to say next you're not getting knocked in the finals or winning the finals?
That's what I'm saying.
I also don't like Tibbs' coaching style. I've never liked Tibbs' coaching style.
Really?
Especially with a guy like Cat, you cannot run him into the dirt.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because.
Yeah, but they still figured out a way to get the job done. I know not get the job done all the way, but I'm just saying in general.
It's just who's going to be a better hire?
Right.
You want something really funny?
They knocked the Celtics out, no?
They did, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They did.
That's
and they were already on their way to win before Tatum got hurt.
Agree.
You know what's so funny? I was looking at the odds of who is going to be the next coach at plus 6,000. Guess who was projected to be the next coach? Not the odds on favorite. He was at the bottom of the list. Plus 6,000.
Doc Rivers?
No. Stephen A. Smith.
What?
Plus 6,000.
No way. You can bet Stephen A. Smith.
The next head coach
That'd be
of
sick.
the New York Knicks. There was a few names, the actual names up there like Sam Castle, Mike Budenholzer,
Right.
Frank Vogel,
He
Becky Hammond.
He just got paid, what, $100 million?
Who, Bud?
Stephen A.
Oh, no, he couldn't coach
That's what I'm saying.
A youth AAU team.
You don't think so?
He don't know ball. He don't know ball.
You don't think so?
Oh, you know what I do want to talk about in a little bit?
Yep.
Not yet. The end of Inside the NBA. We'll talk about that in a
The
little
what?
bit. Inside the NBA.
Oh,
on TNT.
yes.
End of an era. I have a lot of thoughts about that. Won't get into that. We'll stick with Thibodeau. I'm not a big fan of the firing. It's just what's gonna. Here's the thing.
Who's gonna make it better?
Exactly. Who's gonna make it better? And I don't think anybody.
No, I agree.
I will say I'm a huge fan of Sam Castle as head coach. I think he would be a great coach for the Knicks. For some reason, the dude can't get a head coach position to save his life, but he's been a part of great teams. A couple really good Sixers teams.
Agree.
Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very smart coach, but for some reason just never gets the nod.
Well, the thing that doesn't really make sense, okay, we saw this. Who was another? Oh crap! I'm losing my train of thought. There was another coach that got fired this year that had a great season, and they fired him anyways. I can't remember who it was, but either way, right? I know what happened. Who? Yes, the Nuggets head coach. Mike Malone gets fired, right?
Yep.
So.
I think it was 3 games for the season ended too.
That's what I'm saying. So look at it this way, right?
Yep.
Okay, he gets fired because it's heated. They don't like him anymore. Maybe they don't like his coaching style. Whatever it is, you got to remember, you were probably. I understand. Give kudos to Indiana for getting there, right? Kind of a Cinderella run. Would you not agree with me?
I 100% agree.
So with that, the Celtics are your powerhouse that you're going to have to compete with for the Eastern Conference next year. Well, guess what? That's my whole point. Jason Tatum's out
He's
for the
out,
season. Kristaps probably retiring.
Yep.
I don't know if Brown's
Or
coming back
traded.
or traded. Right. I
Yep.
don't know if Brown's coming back. Like, I don't think the Celtics are going to be any better.
And that's why you got to capitalize on it now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not doing that. Am I wrong? Like I said, I'm new into basketball.
The East is so wide open next year.
That's what I'm saying.
The Pacers could win it all, and I still don't think they're favorites next year.
Oh, I agree. I think you think the Knicks are going to be favored going out of the season?
The thing is I think they're gonna do change up their roster next year.
Yeah.
I think they might already trade Cat.
Really?
I think
Do you think
so.
they keep Brunson though? Right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Brunson's untouchable. He's
Yeah.
untouchable. I think they could move Cat. If the right package comes along for a Giannis or KD, I think they would move him.
KD.
I don't think you need to give up that much for KD, but I also don't think
Would you
it's-
rather have Cat or KD?
right now KD.
Really?
I think Cat's a defensive liability.
Okay.
But Cat did have a great postseason, but the dude was gassed.
Yeah. They should go out. Listen, if they get rid of Cat, they should try and go out and get Giannis. That'd be sick.
Giannis would be the move, yeah.
That'd be sick.
Then you could play him at put him at the 4, Mitch at the 5,
Right.
Brunson 1. The only thing is, no matter what, they are going to lose their roster because it doesn't. If you give up, let's just say you go for Giannis, you're giving up Cap, but you're also giving up either Bridges or Anunoby.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
no
Yeah.
way
No,
you're
I
getting
agree.
out of that
And
trade without
draft
giving
picks.
Murray. Like it's. But the thing is too.
It's kind of worth it. In
Nick-
my opinion, I think that's worth
Knicks
it.
fans want Giannis so bad,
As they should.
but here's the thing: why would the Bucks want to trade with the Knicks? Not even just because it's in conference, whatever. They don't. In terms of rebuild, if they're trading Giannis, they're rebuilding. So if you trade Giannis, why would you want Cap? You don't want Cap. You don't. Maybe
Another
you'll settle
older
for
guy.
Bridges,
No,
but I
yeah.
don't even think you'd want Bridges.
No.
And I don't think you want Anunoby.
OG, yeah.
You'd have
no.
to make it a 3-team trade to get a young guy.
Yeah.
But maybe you go out and call up a Spurs team and say, let's move some things to your guys' side.
Right.
Give us young guys like a Castle, Keldon Johnson, Vassell, and maybe you have a 2-team trade.
But at the same time, like they're going to be trading for picks. So you do want to have that one veteran leader on that team, no?
But is that Dame?
Oh shoot, I forgot Dame's
But
still
he
there.
is out
But-
all
and
next
he's out.
season.
And he might retire, honestly. If I were him, I would.
Yeah, he might come back. I don't know. I don't know.
He blew his Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a fun one to come back from.
So basically, the top 5 odds to be the Knicks head coach: Johnny Bryant, who's the Knicks assistant head coach right now,
Right.
plus 240. Kenny Atkinson, which truly doesn't make sense for me. He's the Cavs head coach.
Okay.
He was coach of the year. Does not make sense. Just
He'll
mainly
probably
because
stay, no?
why would he? I understand that's the Mecca, New York Knicks. Why
Right.
would you downgrade?
Right.
Realistically, I think the Cavs are still better than the Knicks.
Yeah, you think? Oh, dude, that's who's probably going to be a favored.
Cavs next year, yeah, probably.
I think,
Unless
going
the thing is,
into
they
the
might
season.
trade Garland too.
Really?
They might trade. He's been thrown around. Him and Jared Allen's name been thrown around everywhere.
I like Garland.
Budenholzer's at 3 at third best odds to be the head coach of the Knicks. That makes no sense to me because he just failed in Phoenix. What the heck makes you think he's gonna work
Right. With Kevin Durant and what's his
in
name?
New
D
York?
Book. Yeah.
Guess who the third? I don't like this, but it would be fascinating. Is Patrick Ewing at 4th best odds?
Is he coach?
He did.
He be coaching?
He did. Yeah.
I don't
but
know
it's-
coaches like that.
He was.
Oh, I do. Well, on that same topic, I do. We didn't get to talk about it. Shout out to Papa with the retirement.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Popovich retired.
So
That was an interesting. They went quick to hire their new head coach.
Yeah, who did they
just
hire?
went with their assistant head coach.
that's cool.
They just went with assistant head coach.
Yep.
They didn't really even do a search, but he coached all year. It's Mitch Johnson. He coached all year.
Oh,
when-
did he? When
when
Pop
Pop
went.
went out.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to see exactly what he kind of
Right.
provided. Spurs weren't that great with him though.
Well, the Spurs aren't that great as is.
That's why I don't even like. There's so many. I don't know. I didn't really like the hire, but
Yeah.
I understand if they're used to it. If Wemby loves them, then you go with it.
Fair.
And I mean, you stick with it. All right, so let's hop into a little bit with the playoffs. Talk a little bit about how the card markets have kind of
Dude, it's
moved
been
up and down, and
crazy.
then we'll hop into the NBA Finals. So Jalen Brunson, while up 14% this year, down 7% now, which is interesting. I think Brunson, when he needed to show up the most in Game 6,
I agree. He didn't.
not there.
No, he didn't.
Well, he did. His numbers weren't terrible, but if it's a winner go home, that's your superstar player.
Right.
I need better. I need
Well,
way
I mean,
better.
it's just. I mean, after like really watching basketball this year, it's such a different atmosphere in New York.
Yeah.
Like after they lost like that first game, like going back to New York, they were playing great ball, but like you could still feel like the tension. Like if they let this slip, it's gonna go gut
Dude,
loose. You know what I mean?
I gotta say something because this argument makes me so mad
Yep.
because I don't think it's even close. Knicks fans, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. But Jalen Brunson is not the king of New York. I don't care what you say, how you word it.
I disagree.
Aaron
with that.
Judge is literally the king of New York.
I mean, fair.
I don't even think it's close.
Fair.
You're talking about a generational type player.
Yeah.
Knicks fans want to argue that
Right.
Jalen Brunson is the king of New York. I disagree.
Well, you want to talk about a guy.
That's about to win a third MVP.
I know you're a Yankees guy.
I
and
don't
it's,
think it matters, though.
just-
I think Aaron Judge is the king.
Let me
honestly,
talk.
The king, the duke, the queen. He can be whatever he wants. The prince.
When last year in the World Series, when
get
it when it came down
Brunson's
to it,
never been to the NBA Finals,
and
though.
that's okay. Well, Aaron Judge has Trent Grisham,
I don't care.
Jazz Chisholm.
I don't care.
I mean, you can't tell me his team's not loaded, and it's no slack to Aaron
Baseball's
Judge.
different. Though.
Baseball's a different breed.
So different.
You're right. I'm just saying. Can I say this? I don't think either of them right now are the king of New York.
You
I don't
can't
think
say-
there is a king of the New York.
I disagree. I think it's Judge.
I think it's Eli Manning. He beat Tom
You
Brady.
got a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Judge and a possible Hall of Famer in Eli Manning.
Well, Eli Manning will make the Hall of Fame, no? You don't think so?
That might be a comment for another time.
Who is?
I understand it, but I don't know if I agree. I don't know.
What?
I don't really think Eli's a Hall of Famer. He
What?
is.
Am I lost here? Did this guy listen? Obviously, I have animosity towards the guy as a Chargers fan, but he did go and
He
beat
did
the best
what- he
team
did.
in NFL history
He did.
with a wild card,
He did.
and then beat him again. I'm just saying, fair. Listen,
Dude,
as a player,
I've always
obviously,
been back and forth. I've really all been back and forth.
it's fair.
Statistically, there's two sides of it. Statistically, Phillip Rivers, Hall of Famer, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Eli Manning, statistically not a Hall of Famer.
But gameplay wise, Hall of Fame.
Gameplay-wise, Hall of
Fair.
Famer.
I
don't know. It's tough. It's
That
tough.
was a tough one.
This is perfect because I do want to bring. I'll wait.
Yeah, let's wait. Let's go
Because
back to the
I
NBA.
I have something to ask
I'm
about
sorry.
Pascal Siakam.
I'm just freaking excited. Ooh, I love that.
That'll be a similar
I
conversation.
love Pascal Siakam.
Um,
really?
I think
Okay,
so.
let's just keep going.
We'll talk about it later. Okay.
That's crazy.
Cade Cunningham's another guy. We've talked about him before.
Markets
Invest.
up,
But
no?
the thing is, obviously, we talked about this. Invest, but also don't invest.
You
Obviously,
can't buy at the
You
peak.
can't buy it right now. He's at the highest he's ever been. Yeah, it's tough with Cade.
Your time to
He's so
to
good.
buy was last year.
Yeah, like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And you know when your time was to buy was when we were on jams. We've been $600 breaks all Cade Cunningham
Yep.
year when we first
And
started.
nobody
the channel,
wanted him.
Nobody wanted it.
Nobody
at
wanted
all.
Jalen
Boxes were the
Green.
cheapest you've ever seen with Prism Hobby boxes.
Yeah.
Was that year, and now it's like quadruple
Yeah.
because you got Evan Mobley as well.
Yep.
Jalen Green's great. It's a great
Mhm.
draft class, and now you waited. You waited.
Franz Wagner.
I
too.
have some. Yeah,
I
Franz
think,
Wagner.
right?
I have some Cades. Nothing crazy.
Me too.
I have a 75th anniversary
I
card.
love that card. Prism.
I love the 75th anniversary
Me
cards. Those
too,
were very
man.
cool.
They're so sweet.
I remember
21
ripping
Prism.
so many of those boxes because they were always left on the shelf.
Yeah.
Even just through COVID, where everything was so tough. They
That's
were
how football was.
always still on the shelf.
Football was kind of like that too with
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence rookie year.
Yeah.
That was first year manga for football.
Ah, yeah.
I don't know. They didn't have it in basketball, right?
What, that year?
Manga.
I don't think so. I
either.
think this was the first year they introduced it.
I think you're right.
Those are impossible to hit right now.
Yeah,
they are
they're
so
dope.
expensive to buy.
They're dope.
I love that. I love that the market on manga about NBA is so high right now because they are like impossible to find.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, I love that. It's especially
Supply
when
and
you're like
demand,
kind of
baby.
introducing it into the basketball side.
Right.
But I will say, go look at some of the manga designs.
Are
for
they
basketball.
bad?
Don't look at Wemby.
Oh, they did him dirty.
They did him
yeah,
very
I
dirty.
think you're right.
They did him very dirty. So
Yeah.
that'll.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got other stuff in a little bit. Okay, let's move
Cade
on to
Cunningham, massive up right now, though. I think he's
Massive
up,
up.
what, 160, 170%?
the next one.
crazy.
Different draft class would have been the next year number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
Paulo Banchero. I love Paulo Banchero. I think also he has the opportunity. That team has the opportunity to retool and be the Pacers the next year.
I love that.
To be the Pacers the next year. Paulo Banchero's very good. Market's
Very
down right now.
That team's good,
but
young.
up for the year.
I think he's a great buy.
I would say give it a month. Give it a month and a half. Actually, it's tough because things could change come the NBA draft. Because
Yeah.
let's just say I always said Giannis was a great fit for the Magic. Let's say Giannis gets traded there. Paulo's market's gonna go up, in my opinion.
You think so?
Just because I don't know. You got Giannis and Paulo next to each other. The opportunity to win a title.
Yeah, you got to
Marco's
buy. If you want to buy him, I would probably buy him now, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
But if you don't foresee something big getting added to the Magic,
Then
maybe
hold.
wait a month.
Yeah.
Wait a month and then buy. When the season's over, nobody's really talking
Yep.
about it.
Agree.
Then you got Jokic. Talk about Jokic a little bit. Down 7% right now, but up 7% this year.
Sounds about right. It kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, we talked about it.
Fascinating. Yeah,
We
he
talked
is
about it
fascinating
last
market.
episode, just because there aren't a lot of his cards out there, so you
Yeah.
don't see a lot of movement on his.
Yeah, he signed a
his
little bit
stuff.
in Prism this year, but
Yep.
not much. Like he wasn't in the massive products.
He's in a lot of Flawless. No, I thought maybe not.
No, he didn't sign in Flawless.
No.
No.
I'm thinking
he had
the year
logos.
prior.
He had logo. He was a
Yeah.
part of the triple logo man.
Yep.
That just sold for $300K
Saw that.
on Fanatics Collect.
I did see that.
LeBron, Jokic, and Wembanyama.
Yep.
It's actually one of our buyers that comes in a lot with us.
Yep.
Actually,
I knew.
all three.
I
of
knew
them were
all. Yeah, I
buyers
was gonna
with us.
say
Yeah, I was
we
gonna
know
say.
all three of them.
Yeah, actually, which was really cool. He kept coming in. They were doing live streams.
Same.
In the car.
He was telling me about
that's
it.
so cool.
I wish I was live. I wanted to be live and watch
I
it with
know,
him, but
so cool. Giannis, another guy, one down 58% the last 2
Giannis
years.
is
Even though he's
interesting.
having great years,
right.
it's just they can't get anywhere. Down 20% right now.
What do you think of? You think he's a solid buy right now?
100%.
It doesn't make sense
100%.
because people know he's probably going to be moving.
Yep.
Why is his market not
I don't
increasing?
know.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
would
I
think
totally
it'd be
get
the
it.
opposite.
Especially if
because,
he's going to a big contender.
right. You know, a question that at least I get a lot is like, why are people dumping so much money into these prospects? Because
Mhm.
that's the whole point, is to find that gem, the opportunity cost and the upside in these players,
Yep.
right? And I think Giannis is a prime example,
Yep.
and he's already factored in as a Hall of Famer. So if he's at 20% down right now, perfect time to buy.
So I'll ask you a question because similar to what you just said in terms of investing,
Right.
would you rather throw, let's just say $5,000 at a Giannis? You're probably not gonna find like an RPA for that little, but like let's just say you got an RPA for let's go $10,000.
$5,000
Let's go $5,000
card.
Giannis RPA or 7 like Amen Thompson. Just Amen's an example. Rookie patch autos where you don't know the certainty of his future, but you know Giannis, you got one rookie patch auto of him. How would you rather
Ooh,
go
that's,
about it?
That's tough
Would
because
you rather invest in a player that's won 2 MVPs
Right.
and a championship, or take that chance at multiple RPAs with a chance to quadruple, triple, whatever
Right.
that card?
yeah, that's a tough one because I and I think it comes down to like players, right?
Yeah.
In Giannis, I think I would take the Giannis just because he is so far down right now, and
Mhm.
I do truly think he's going to get moved. Just
Oh,
like
I
when,
think so too.
when
I
Luka
think so
got
too.
moved, his market went up.
Went
You know
up.
what I mean? So I think kind of like the same thing is going to happen. If you're looking for like a nice, quick flip,
Mm-hmm.
or like let's say 6-month flip, I think Giannis would be a good one.
Yep.
If you're looking for like a nice hold, I would probably go closer to the Thompson twin.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we actually hit the Giannis logo man. Out
I
of
saw that.
National
Congrats.
Treasure.
That was sick.
National Treasure. We hit his 101.
What would you do in that situation?
I don't know. It's tough. I think it depends on the rookie.
Right, like you had
I
brought
just
up
used
your,
him as an example.
you brought
like,
up Brandon Miller the other day. I think he's a great buy,
I literally was sending you
and he's
a
dirt
bunch
cheap.
of different things I can find on eBay because he's so cheap. And I don't get why.
$300 for his
I
true
found like
patch.
a gold flawless patch the other day. Oh, I literally saw one of his gold flawless patches, like his true, went for like 1,500 the other day, and I was like, that's actually really cheap. I was like, that's really cheap.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense to me either. But I listen. If LaMelo leaves too, like he's the star.
all by
he's
himself.
the star of that team.
Yeah, I know.
So you did just talk about Luka a little bit. He's up 4%.
Yep.
I wouldn't personally invest.
I
in him
wouldn't
much.
either.
Not
Not right now, at
especially
least.
not after. I mean, Luka's Luka, but like they didn't make it far.
And I don't know if they're going to be any better next year. You know what I mean?
No, it's gonna depend. I think they could. I think they're the assets to trade. The question is, do they?
Yeah.
With Austin Reeves. Then you got Anthony Edwards, knocked him out. I would wait a little bit. He's up 9% right
Ant-Man?
now. I'd probably wait
Yeah.
right now.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, Ant's an interesting one. He is very sought after right now.
Right. People are still
Very
like
sought
I would
after.
again in that situation, I'd rather go buy some Giannis or a Brandon Miller or somebody with that higher potential in return.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's because that's my goal. If I'm trying to flip, I'm looking for the highest. How can I maximize
Yep.
my margin on it?
Yep.
And buying somebody like Ant-Man right now, it just doesn't really make sense.
Yep.
Even his higher end cards, like I don't know.
Yep. So moving on, because this is perfect, because I literally just brought his name up with the honest discussion. Amen Thompson, after his playoff performance, great defensively, pretty good offensively, up 14% right now, up 240% this year. That is crazy.
You want to know
I
what I think
understand
that
it, but crazy.
you want to know what else that kind of attests it to is he's really he's the best rookie that signed
100%.
this year and everything.
I'd agree.
I think that's one of the
I
reasons
agree.
why is
I agree.
because that's pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, who else signs in that class?
Keontae
Pod?
George, Bilal, Pajemski, Trish Jackson Davis. It's really nothing
It's not
outstanding
right.
I 100%
He's the
agree.
best.
Amen's the best, and
Yeah.
then like Asar. Asar's another interesting one.
Yeah.
Where I think he did take a leap up in his percentage this year in the playoffs
Right.
because he had a good first round. He was guarding Jalen Brunson, and there were times where he was locking
He
him
was.
up.
Yep.
He's just somebody that is not a massive scoring threat, and I don't think people like to invest in
Agree.
a defensive player of the year like guy.
Agree. Like you're not seeing Josh Hart cards go through the roof.
No,
You know?
or Evan Mobley's an interesting one, but he's another
Yeah,
guy where
but he
he'll
puts
get
up
you
points.
offense, but he's defensive centric,
Right.
where you're not gonna throw too much into him. Same
He was
with,
also
like,
on that
Cat
Cavs team that was just better. I would say they're better. They were better than the Rockets and the and the Pistons.
Yo, I
you know?
agree.
Bigger market.
And speaking of the Rockets, with Amen Thompson,
Yeah, this one's
is
interesting.
Jalen Green.
I would stay away from him.
Dude.
I don't think he's that good.
I invest mainly because if he gets traded and he goes to a team like Milwaukee, he's gonna average 25 to 30
You
a game.
think so?
I do, because he's gonna be the only scoring option.
Yeah, true.
I don't think they trade him, but
He's still young.
if they
you know?
do for a Giannis,
That was a tough playoff performance.
yeah, it's very tough.
That
But
was-
listen,
that
he's
was
also
ugly.
very down. He's a second overall pick.
Right.
I wouldn't give up on him now. He can resurge next year. Also, what's the difference between? There is a difference, but Jalen Green, like a Hailiburton had a similar thing last year,
True. Yep. He
where
beefed it.
like
Yep.
he falls down in his percentage, and then he needs to
Fair.
say life has to get worse before it gets better.
It's true. I agree
Jalen
with
Green
that.
might have had to go through his flaws and his imperfections in this playoffs to realize.
The things that you have to do to go win the game. No, I get
100%.
that. That's fair.
Uh,
That's fair.
So let's move on to the NBA Finals.
Yep.
I doubted it for a long time, but like OKC was always going to the finals.
Yeah. I think so too.
Always going to the finals.
I'm gonna say this though. I think Indiana wins it.
Dude,
And you
I
wanna
would-
know
I
why?
would love it
Well, you want to know why?
because nobody see him coming.
Well, every single freaking series that I've watched so far, the underdog has just murdered
Yeah.
anybody. The
I
Celtics.
think.
We thought that the Knicks were going to get swept by the Celtics,
Yeah.
and they basically gentlemen
Yep.
swept them. Like like none of it makes
And the
sense. this year.
Pacers were underdogs against the Cavs.
The Pacers were.
There were a lot of underdogs that won series this offseason or this postseason.
I thought that the Pacers were the worst team coming into the playoffs.
Definitely one of them. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And now here they are. So I'm gonna show some respect. Shout out Pat McAfee and those Indiana Pacers. I'm taking the Pacers
Dude,
to win the
I would
series.
love to see it. I do not want to see the Thunder win. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
They are minus 700 to win the championship. The Thunder.
Yeah, I know. I believe it.
That is crazy.
Well, that
I'd be
team's
curious.
I mean, that team's nasty.
I'd be curious to know the last last championship that was that skewed odds.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine any LeBron's championships were that far.
No.
I can't imagine any of the Warriors because it was always against LeBron. Raptors, I think they were the favorite in that one, but it wouldn't have been too much.
What about that run with Dallas? Dallas Mavs against.
What with Dirk?
Mhm. You don't think so?
I'd be curious. This is very minus 700. You might as well just throw something on. The
I'll give you
Pacers.
one. We just talked about him. Eli Manning. Eli Manning Super Bowl 2009.
Oh, well, yeah, for
2010?
Yeah.
Bang.
Okay.
He was probably. What do you think the money line odds for the Giants in that Super Bowl was? Because they were 9-8.
I mean, going for a perfect season,
Dude, probably.
they had to be at least probably around minus 700. Honestly,
I was thinking
maybe like
I was
five.
think- I was thinking like
Football can
1,200.
be weird. You think you're fine?
Pull it up. Yeah, pull it up. We can
You
find
think
it.
that's a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Patriots first.
Wh-
What year was that?
2009, I think. Maybe 10, 11, somewhere in that.
All right,
9,
let's
10,
see.
11.
Let's see.
That defense was so good for the Giants that year.
Wait. I don't even see it honestly. Wait, you said 2009?
I think so.
Honestly, I can't even find it.
Are you kidding me?
No, I can't even find it. Oh wait, never. They were 5-2 favorites, which would be what? 1, 2. That's about minus 300.
Yeah, man. That's not
Just
bad.
about.
Yeah, that's weird. But never mind then.
I mean, it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's
Either
gonna
way,
be tighter
it is
odds.
insane. Minus 700 is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, put some respect on
Put some
Indiana
respect.
a little bit.
I think Pacers match up better than people think.
Dude, they're
They
so
match
fast.
up way better than people think. Miles Turner is a great defender on Chet. Hailiburton. Well, they probably wouldn't put Hailiburton on SGA. It'll probably be Nemhart.
Yeah,
Nemhart.
Yep.
Benedict Mathurin, which I think is going to come out to play big. You want to talk about somebody you could just throw in money on right
Yep.
now? Benedict Mathurin, because I think he's going to be on SG. Him, Nemhart, and
You got Siakam.
Aaron Nesmith. I think those are going to be the guys.
On
Siakam's not Siakam's a decent defender, but
Yeah.
he's not great. Like you literally have one of the best offensive teams in NBA history against one of the worst defensive teams.
Yeah, I know.
But
They're just
I think
fast.
Benedict Matherin's a good defender. That's why series gonna be interesting. It's gonna be high scoring.
It's gonna be fun. Dude.
Over on every single game.
Oh yeah, it's
over on every single.
I
game.
bet they put the first game at like over under like
my guess would be
250.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like 250.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
Honestly, like
120 game, like yeah, that makes sense. So Hailiburton in 2 of their losses on the Thunder versus regular season, he had 4 points in one, 18 points in another.
Damn.
They'll probably have Lou Dort on. Well, he might be on Siakam.
But the thing is like that doesn't honestly like Hailiburton doesn't need to put up points.
No, as long as he's a playmaker, they can win. But
and that's what he's been doing this whole tournament.
It's tough though because their game 5 against the Knicks, he was bad when he wasn't scoring.
You're right.
He was really bad. And then you look at the next game, he's putting up like a PRA of like 35-40.
Yeah.
Like when they are not going to lose when he does that.
Agree.
They don't lose. But when he puts up those 7-point games and he can't score, they lose.
Yeah,
that's just how it goes. Hailiburton. So we were actually you tuned into a stream earlier. I want to pull up some of the cards of Hailiburton and how they've sold on golden auctions. So this past week, Halliburton's 1-of-1 rookie black prism. PSA mint 9 sold for $119,000.
So sick.
$119,000. And we were talking about this too. What would it have sold for if Hailiburton didn't make this run? I would say 40 grand.
I'd say probably closer to like 50 to 60.
And that's how crazy this market is and how timing is everything.
Yeah.
119,000.
Well, you showed what is his logo, man? His
rookie logo, man, graded by Beckett in May of 2023, sold for $84,000.
So what do you think?
Which is very good.
What do you think that's worth right now? If the black prism did 120,
you think 200K?
I was like hedging there, maybe 180.
Yeah,
150 to 200.
I mean, obviously, you'd rather have the logo.
That's what I'm saying.
It got a mint 8.5 autograph 10 on that. On the back end.
I mean, I don't even care about the grade, honestly.
But
no, I feel that
probably inching towards 200K.
Yeah,
right. And if he wins, 250, 300.
Well, the thing is like, and I don't want to compare him to SGA. Obviously, he just won the MVP, but recently SGA's Black Prism sold for like 200, I think. So, isn't that crazy?
And then another one we were looking at was the triple logo, man, out of that rookie class.
Yep.
Talk about great pairing. Like sometimes you see those logos end up
like, what the heck?
so bad. You're like, how these three? Great pairing. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Hailiburton. So for $80,000 in March of 2022.
Dude.
Anthony Edwards, amazing playoff. Tyrese Hailiburton, amazing playoff.
LaMelo's still good though.
He's still good. He's a fringe right below all-star caliber player.
250 right now?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Oh yeah, I would say so.
I would want that card.
Great logo.
Dude, if I had $1 million laying around, I'd spend 250 of it.
That'd be a great triple, dude. Man, what was I thinking? Why was I thinking about Tyrese Hailiburton? This is what I kid you not. This haunts me. Yeah, with the hell, exactly. This haunts me every night these days. Is like I'm trying to think of like, what is the next? How can I have one of these cards in my possession and perfectly set myself up for
dude.
Times 10?
Well, listen, if everybody could do it,
exactly.
They would.
But I like to think I'm a ball knower.
Right.
So
I need to let the people know who's the next guy. Who is the next person to bring it home? It could be any sport.
You know who I keep settling on?
Who? Are you gonna say JJ McCarthy?
Yeah. JJ McCarthy every time. No,
his market's already through the roof.
It is. I know. I keep trying to buy stuff, and I'm just like every time I get outbid, and I'm like, this is not what it should be going for. Yeah. I don't know. On the basketball side, like I think Paolo would be like the next one that would be.
It
could be so quick. Paolo is a below MVP caliber player with the opportunity to take a team to the finals.
It was I think what Brunson had went through, you know?
I think Paolo would be the next one. I think that could be something like that. I'd say Cade, but it's just not worth investing in him right now.
Yeah,
I think Paolo would be a good investment.
Agreed.
So other guys a part of, this finals where their market is, and this is what kind of had me think about this earlier when it comes to Eli Manning.
Yep.
If Pascal Siakam wins an NBA final, it'll be his second. Truly a part of a
second MVP
No,
championship.
Not
Oh,
his second championship. Because
Yeah,
he won one in
Toronto. Yep.
and then he would win one with the Pacers. Two teams that were underdogs
Right.
going in.
And like small.
Nobody expected them to be in the
Toronto,
final.
not a small market team.
Nobody expected them to win the
But,
championship.
no, I agree.
Would Siakam put himself in a Hall of Fame? As a star, like
Yeah.
he's not a superstar, but he's a star.
Right.
He's an all-star.
If you were to compare him to another player, who would you in past time?
Chris Bosh.
He's not as good as Chris Bosh.
No, you're right.
Come
He is right below, I would say.
Really? Pull up Chris Bosh.
No. That was disrespectful. To Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh. Jesus, dude, come on, show some
That was
respect.
disrespect.
I love
Two-time
Pascal.
champion. It would be a two-time champion for both, though, but not as a one option. Bosh was never a two on those championship teams either. Siakam, honestly,
Yeah, okay,
you know what's great? Siakam's the number one option in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It's not Hailiburton.
You also have to think Chris Bosh is playing with
I get-
LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Like,
So he was carried.
well, yeah, no crap. He still isn't as good.
I don't know what a good comp for Siakam would be,
Isn't that
honestly.
tough?
Somebody that's won 2 championships.
Eric Fisher. I don't know.
Is Lamar Odom a Hall of Famer?
No. Lamar Odom?
I didn't think so.
No. He was good.
No, yeah.
Lamar Odom's
Is
a
he
good
not a Hall of Famer?
I don't think so.
Let's see.
Lamar Odom?
No, he's not. Okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't put him as Hall of Fame, but I was just trying to think of somebody like who was on a team that won a finals, not as like your number one.
Yeah.
I don't
Couple
know.
of
I
times.
don't think Siakam's Hall of Famer, but honestly, great resume. But these NBA lets in anybody. That's the
true.
thing.
How long has he been in the NBA? Since like
Siakam? Let's
2013,
see.
14, maybe?
2016.
Mm.
He has a wow. Okay, you want to talk about something great?
Yep.
A lot better stats than I even thought. Pascal Siakam has averaged 18 points per game in his career. He hasn't averaged a season below 20 points since 2018. This year, he had averaged 20 while shooting 51%, almost 40% from 3, 7 rebounds, basically 4 assists.
Dang.
That's every season. He has one season he averaged 23 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
What?
Are we not giving that's what I'm saying? We're not giving Pascal Siakam enough credit.
No.
His market's up big right now. He doesn't sign a lot.
Well, yeah, he's in that
But he
weird time.
has
Like
cards.
2016 is like, that's a weird year where they didn't really produce a lot of cards.
So he's a 3-time All-Star, most improved, NBA champion, 2-time All-NBA.
He could.
Is he a friend? Okay, now
could sneak in there.
now let me pull up Chris Bosh's stats. Because maybe I'm honestly onto something. I got an interesting
Sorry.
Okay, reset.
Sorry.
I got an interesting comp.
Yep.
Was Pascal Siakam's another Andre Iguodala?
Iguodala? Iguodala?
What if he's another Andre? That's a good comp.
No, it's a good comp. I just wanted to say it. 'Cause
Eastern Conference MVP.
if you could
Iguodala's
take,
had his Finals MVP.
listen, life on the line, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum,
Give me Iguodala.
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal.
Give me
Siakam.
Siakam.
Have I ever
Siakam.
I maybe
I don't mind that. Iguodala's a good one.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this on
He's
the
not
pod.
he's not a Hall of Famer though, is he?
Not he wouldn't be yet. He wouldn't be yet. Not yet.
Iguodala?
He wouldn't be yet because he only retired last year. I actually interviewed him. I was so mad. I'll be honest. As a reporter, I was very mad. I had an interview scheduled with Andre Iguodala, and you best believe that interview got canceled. And I'm like, why did this interview get canceled? Because he was from Springfield, Illinois, where I was covering sports.
Oh.
It gets canceled. 30 minutes later, I get a notification on my phone. Andre Iguodala has retired. And I'm like, okay, you couldn't let me have that interview. Get the news.
That would have been
and then
sick.
report it.
You broke the news.
So I interviewed him a couple weeks later, and it was so funny because I had to ask him.
You
I was
had
like,
I would have
well,
too.
I had to ask him. I was like, fade of the line, you making the shot or what? And he's like, oh, now? Like, I don't know. Like, he was like, yeah, 100%.
But back then,
Great clip. Great clip.
2010,
That was one of my favorite
cash-
interviews.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
so Chris Bosh. He averaged 19 points per game in his career, 1 point off from Siakam. Chris Bosh, highest season scoring, 24 points per game.
It was
He had
different
1,
back then,
2,
though, dude.
3, 4, 5, 6 seasons averaging 20 plus.
But you said it yourself. He
Siakam,
wasn't even a number one. He was never a number one on
1,
the Heat.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Okay,
seasons 20 plus.
he
That's
was
the
never
thing.
a number one though, and he's still putting up almost the same.
Neither was Siakam scoring wise though. That's the thing.
This year he is no.
Points per game, he's probably got over. What about when he's with Kawhi? He wasn't the number one option.
Fair.
Fred VanVleet, I'd argue, was the number one option in Toronto too.
I love Fred VanVleet, dude.
You know what?
He's a beast.
I honestly, who knows if they've clipped this? I would probably get flamed for this, but he might be a Hall of Famer.
No.
If they win the finals,
no, Fred
he has 2
VanVleet.
MVP. No.
Oh, but Pascal Siakam.
If he wins 2 finals,
Hey, did I tell you the story? My one and only NBA game I went and watched was the Celtics versus Houston or Toronto a couple of years ago in the Garden. In Pascal Siakam put up like 40 points. He was the best. He's the best player I've ever seen personally.
If Siakam wants to drop bucket, he'll drop bucket.
Yeah, he will. He's a beast.
He will drop a bucket.
Yeah, I don't mind scooping him up, dude. I don't mind buying some of his stuff. I got to see what his market.
80% right now. Though.
I want to see, but even then, like, what is his market like though?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's still low.
Is he cheap?
It's still low. It's still cheaper.
Like dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
It's making its way up.
What do you think his Silver Prism rookie goes for in a PSA 10? If you had to throw a number out there, $200.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe even less. Honestly, Silver rookie Prism.
Like if that's the case, dude.
Let's see. Oh no, even less. 100.
See, you know what I mean? That's
105
cheap,
was
dude.
the most recent sale. 105. That was also like a week ago, so it could be different now.
That's fine.
Yeah,
though.
that was like
way.
the last sold.
Either way, I think that's a great buy. I think that's.
I mean, his market is still pretty low, but it's up. Like it's
right.
up 82%.
Exactly.
But he just doesn't sign a lot. You don't see him signing like NT flawless much at all.
Right.
Sometimes they throw in logos for him, but it's really not often.
Yeah.
Another guy in the finals will be another big man. SGA too. I was gonna say J-Dub.
Oh, Jalen
His
Williams.
market's up a little bit.
Yeah.
I love where Chet's market is. People talk about Chet. Nobody talks about Chet as the hidden ingredient for Oklahoma City's formula.
Oh, I agree.
Right when Chet came back from his season-long injury, Thunder took off.
Oh yeah, they balled out.
Thunder took off. That's what they need. They needed a big man that could score.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I said that for years. Like I have a friend that's a huge Oklahoma City Thunder fan, and I was like, "You need your Sabonis. You need your Sabonis." That's why
they got somebody even better, in my opinion. I think he's better than Sabonis.
I always thought Cat would have been a great person for them.
Yeah.
Chet is perfect. I love investing in Chet right now. He signs a lot in Panini.
Everything.
He's in Flawless. He's in IMAC. He's in National Treasure.
Yep.
Signs in Prism Decky. You name it. He's signing. He has Color Blast. He has logos. He is a perfect guy. Maybe the market's too saturated, but I still don't. I don't think it's too bad. I'd invest in Chet 100%.
I don't mind that.
I'd invest in Chet 100%.
I like Chet quite a bit.
Do you think SGA has had the greatest breakout season ever? I would say no.
I don't know. Linsanity was pretty freaking good. He broke out.
He did break out. I would say no just because
he was good last year. He was great last year.
That's what I was gonna say. That he was still second in MVP last year. Yeah. Second and third, right in that top three.
I wouldn't give him his best.
I don't know if I can fight you on that because I think we both agree on
like
that.
you can argue like Jalen Brunson had more of a breakout than he did.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not saying that he's better.
I think Cade
would have had Cade was number one overall pick. It's a number one overall pick, dude. What are you talking about?
I guess I just mean
Cade was still
in terms of going from somewhere to.
No, I agree. But if we're talking like individual performances, like Jalen Brunson, way more impressive.
I will say SGA is just dominant every game. You really don't get many low games from him.
No, you don't. I mean,
that's why I would, I guess, maybe like he's just so good this season. Another one. I was actually just. It's so funny that this is on this. I was just talking about this with someone yesterday. Does SGA put himself as the best Thunder of all time if he wins this final?
If he wins the ring
over KD?
Yeah, that was my thing. Man, that's tough. I don't like KD, so yeah. I
over Westbrook, who broke
that's a guy
so
I love.
Many records.
That's true, man. Well, it's not hard to break it when you're only freaking 3 seasons in. For OKC, you know what I'm saying?
NBA records,
no,
Oscar Robertson type numbers.
Yeah, no. What do you think?
Probably. He'll do what KD never did.
Yeah, they never won a ring over there.
No,
dang,
they
really?
made it to the finals, never won a ring.
Yeah, yep.
Never won because they lost to the LeBron team in Miami. Never won a ring. I think you could consider it. Yeah,
I think so too.
I think KD obviously would go down as a better pure player. I think
so. If that's the case, you'd go SGA, KD, and Westbrook.
Then Harden's up there, but the thing is,
Harden
never did much with the Thunder. That was the thing.
He was fifth man.
But if you count him as just his true career at his peak,
he won best sixth man, didn't he?
Sixth man of the year. Yeah. So I'd go to that 3.
I agree.
All right, we can move on from a little bit NBA. Let's talk about NFL. Big Madden cover announcement this week with Saquon getting the cover.
That's a curse.
You
It's
know
not.
We keep giving position players the cover because I am so sick of quarterbacks being the cover.
I love it.
You get MVPs no matter what. You give people the Madden cover. Where's Justin Jefferson?
I'm not a well, hear me out though. Madden curse, dude. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think Josh Allen and Derrick Henry have kind of
Fixed that
a little bit.
Fair.
Derrick Henry had a great year
That's
coming
fair.
off of Madden
He
cover.
did.
Josh Allen had MVP
He
caliber
just
year.
won an MVP. No, that's
Yep.
fair, I guess.
But I get it, dude. There was a streak where it was so bad. Peyton Hillis fell out there the face of the earth after he was on.
I'm not a huge Madden guy.
I like Madden.
I enjoy playing it, but I only have a GameCube.
Dude,
I've been grinding Madden 06.
I love GameCube.
But was Tom Brady ever on a cover?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, he made it like twice.
Did he?
Yeah. So he made it.
Oh, with Tampa Bay, didn't he?
He was on with Mahomes too.
Yes.
He had the
Yep. Never
duel
mind.
with
I'm sorry.
Mahomes
Yep.
on,
I don't know
the
why.
Goats one.
Why I thought. Well, so this
It
brings
took
me.
him a long time though. It took him a long time to get a cover, Tom Brady.
This brings me to my next point because I do want to talk about Saquon just for a second. His market is insane compared to what it used to be. Like his true RPA, I'm curious to see what his true RPAs are. Well over $1,000 to $2,000, which is extremely rare as a running back, right? Last year, Christian McCaffrey was the hype going into the season. A lot of people drafted him in fantasy 101. And historically, unfortunately, coming into year 7, it's not a good sign in what happened. I don't want to jinx it. Again, I love Saquon Barkley, but first off, are you buying him? Second off, no, you can't, right?
Probably not.
Are you drafting him 101? Are you drafting him all the way up to 105 this year?
Yeah, 5.
I wouldn't. He's Christian. I'm again. If Saquon's listening to this,
I probably
this
draft
is for you.
Saquon, though.
Saquon,
No, but Saquon
were you
coming off that big of the season, though?
well, Christian McCaffrey. Would you have drafted Christian McCaffrey last year?
No,
5 overall.
I told everybody.
Such a lie.
I told no.
Fibbing. He's lying straight to the camera, Chad.
That's a lie. I was very heavy. I told everybody, do not take Christian McCaffrey.
How is he
number 1?
How is he any different than the whole situation in Philly?
I think Saquon's built different. He physically he's built different. Like
that's
in
what
terms
people.
of
Dude,
his
that's
workout regimen, his health regimen.
Okay,
I would
that's
take him
what people
top 5.
saying.
I don't know if I'd put him 1.
That's
but
insane.
honestly, at the same time, I probably would. But I also would take Jamar or Jefferson 1.
That's crazy, dude. Well, yeah, but
I
would not draft. I'm
I
telling
would be
you
okay.
right now.
I'd be okay if I took Saquon at 1. I would not be upset.
I don't like
After
it.
that season, though.
That's the whole point. After this season, what is he gonna do better than he did last year?
Here's the thing: is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is built different, and he hasn't slowed down. Saquon Barkley's built different.
Saquon
Different running back, but
total different running back.
Still built different.
I'm just saying. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I get it. Running backs fall off so quick.
He is built more like Christian McCaffrey than he is Derrick Henry. Am I correct? Am I correct? Derrick Henry, bigger freaking body.
Yeah, of course.
Christian McCaffrey, stocky guy, real quick, thick legs.
You're saying he's closer to Christian McCaffrey?
I think so. Yes.
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Dude, Saquon's a build.
Pull up his stats. Pull up his physical attributes.
You know who I'd more comp Saquon to, which honestly maybe might supports your thing. It does.
I'm gonna say
Todd
this.
Gurley and his fall.
Oh,
off.
nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that helps you, but I still think I would draft Saquon 1. One or 2.
I'm gonna say this. I'd rather have Gibbs. I'd rather draft Gibbs.
No.
Why? Tell me why.
Number 1
over him. I'm not. I'm drafting wide receiver over.
You're talking about running back 1.
Running back 1. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs over or Derrick Henry over.
Nah.
I am. Why?
No.
Dude, it doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You know this as a sport guy. You know this as a fantasy football player. You know that is not the guy to take for a first running back off the board. I'm just saying.
Honestly,
statistically, historically, and again, I'm not wishing ill will on Saquon Barkley, and I hope, you know who my Super Bowl champs are this upcoming year? The Philadelphia Eagles. I still do not trust. I don't trust it.
If I had to rank the running backs of who to take, I'd go Saquon. Probably, maybe, honestly, Jonathan Taylor, and then Genty.
Why Jonathan
and then
Taylor?
I'd go Bijan,
Jonathan Taylor,
Derrick Henry, Gibbs, Jacobs.
I'm trying to play in your
McCaffrey.
league this year. You trying to play this year? We'll play
Dude.
heads up.
I think Jonathan Taylor, the thing is, he's not going to have really a quarterback, so they're going to hand it off.
That's fair.
Anthony
but
Richardson,
You want to talk about
trash.
injury prone?
Jones, trash.
They're all
Good.
trash.
Oh, you know what? Take that back. I disregard what I said. John Taylor's going to stink this year.
Yeah.
I take back everything. Their offensive line sucks.
Yeah, they just got rid of Will Fries
no,
and
that's
that
fair.
whole situation.
That's fair. No, okay. All right, take that back. Saquon.
Sorry, Saquon Barkley. I would stay away from his
Saquon,
market.
Genty, Bijan,
Genty?
Henry. I don't like Gibbs.
Why?
I think the line. I'm telling you. We
Oh,
talked about
because you're a Vikings fan.
I think Lions take a step back this year, and their offensive line just lost Frank Ragnow. Huge part of their offensive line.
Dude, they had the best offensive line in the NFL
And they lost
last year.
Ragnow.
Okay, 80-year-old Ragnow.
Yeah. Big part of the offense.
Fair. But that's my whole thing. I'm probably, in my opinion, I would not be buying Saquon. I think it's a good time to sell.
I wouldn't buy Saquon either.
I think it's a great time to sell.
I
with
just
all
don't
this
think he
hype.
falls off next year too much.
And I hope he doesn't. Historically, they do. You know that. Look at me.
I know running backs fall off so quick.
No, that's not what I said. After having a season like that, going into what year was he drafted? 18. He's going into what year? 17 or year 7. Year 7 after having an MVP season.
I would be totally
they
okay
fall
if
off.
I'd fell off.
I
I'd
know
be
you
totally
would.
okay.
I know you would.
I want to win. I want to win I want to go to the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Now that I think the Vikings.
Who's
are
your
gonna go to the
running
Super
back?
Bowl, Aaron Jones. Backup Jordan Mason. It's a solid two-headed beast.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not
With a
bad.
great offensive line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Justin
You could have-
Jefferson, Jordan
you could have
Addison,
anybody.
Rondell Moore.
You could have anybody back there.
Yeah, no, we'll be fine.
That's fine.
Aaron Jones was great last year.
They did.
He had some fumble issues, but he was great.
Eh.
Move on to, speaking of kind of falling off, final chances for some quarterbacks. What are your thoughts on Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and Mac Jones?
Justin Fields, great buy right now. Still
I think so
cheap.
too. We looked at it last time.
It's true
Very
RPAs.
cheap.
The
Very
Jets,
cheap.
obviously the Jets are the Jets.
Yep.
But they're cleaning house, and that's what they needed to do. They kept everybody that they needed to keep. I don't think the Finns got any better. I think they got worse.
Yeah.
And the Patriots, their defense
I
got
don't think
better.
The Bills got too much better either.
I don't think
I'm
so.
missing somebody. I don't think they got, because they lost Von Miller, right? He's not even on the defense anymore.
Yeah, but they replaced him with Joey Bosa. I mean,
That's
they're
fair.
a
Joey
good.
Bosa has an injury waiting to happen.
But
though.
that's like the whole premise of their edge rushing group.
Yeah.
Is they plug and play. They have 5 or 6 edge rushers that they just do 10-20% the entire game. So it's gonna work. I think Joey's gonna be fine for him. I think the Bills are gonna win that division, but I think the Jets are gonna surprise a lot of people. Like their win total's at like 5.5, 6 maybe.
They might get 5.
I think they get like 7. I think they go like 7 and 10.
I don't know about all that.
Really?
I don't know. I
Plug
like
their schedule real
the
quick.
only thing is,
I'm just
the only
curious.
thing is with Justin Fields that's really good for right now in his resurgence is that he doesn't have anybody he doesn't have to look over his shoulder.
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback room in New York.
Yeah, who's their backup?
It
was Jordan Travis.
So looking at their schedule, you got
Like, just go through it, and I'll tell you if they win or lose.
Steelers, lost. Bills,
Loss.
Buccaneers,
Loss. I'm sorry.
Dolphins.
That's a dub, I think.
Let's just say you split them.
Yep.
Cowboys.
Dub. I think the Cowboys are going to be really bad this year, though.
I disagree.
Just keep
I
going.
don't think they're
Just
going to
keep
be
going.
amazing. Broncos.
A dub. I don't think the Broncos are going to be good either.
Panthers.
I think they lose to the Panthers. I think the
so, too.
Panthers are going to be real good this year.
Bengals. No. Stop.
Okay. All right.
Don't even think about
3 and
that.
5.
Browns.
Dub.
Okay. Patriots. Drake
Dub.
May.
5 and 5.
I think the Patriots.
Where is that game?
In New England.
Okay, loss. I'm going to split with them,
Yeah,
too.
no, that's fair. Ravens.
So they're 4 and 6. 4 and 7.
Falcons.
5 and 7. I think they win. Where is that game? In New York?
Yeah.
I think they win that game.
Dolphins.
Dub. Oh, no, they lose. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay,
5
so-
and 8.
Jags.
Dub. 6 and 8.
I don't know if I put them. Saints. It's bad against bad.
7 and 8.
That would have been a great spot for Fields. Patriots would be the split, and then Bills would not be the Bills. So I got like 6, 7.
7 and 10. I guess that is asking a lot. It's
I think
asking
it
a lot.
is.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're built. I think what's
That
his
division's
name?
so trash
I
now,
think
dude.
Hall
Holy
took a
crap.
big step back last year.
Who?
Brees Hall. It wasn't great. He didn't have a great season.
Well, nobody did over there.
No, because Aaron Rodgers. It's tough to play with him.
That's why it feels like a totally revamped room, and that's why I'm buying Justin Fields. I think I like Justin Fields as a leader. We saw that in Pittsburgh with freaking Matt Canada, dude. Matt Canada's garbage. He's garbage. The worst offensive coordinator ever.
It's fair. One thing I do want to ask quickly, because we talked about this on stream today. Do you think the NFL should change the ruling on Rookie of the Years, kind of like the NBA and sort of MLB? MLB is different because it's all about service time, but where if you don't play your rookie season, you'd be able to qualify for Rookie of the Year the first time play. So should JJ McCarthy qualify for Rookie of the Year?
I think so.
I agree.
I don't mind it.
I agree.
It's not his fault, you know?
Yeah. And the next thing would be would JJ McCarthy run away with Rookie of the Year?
No. This year, no. I'm sorry. I need a sip of water.
Because I mean, there's Genty. I don't think Travis Hunter would win. But here's the thing: if he does what he just the Sam Darnold like way and just leads them to the playoffs, I'd argue he'd win Rookie of the Year. He'd run away with it.
I don't disagree. Can I push back a little bit?
Yeah, please.
He's not known as a pass thrower, and I hope he does this year.
I think he has to. That's
well, I mean, it's kind of hard not to when you have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and T.J. Hawkinson,
Moore,
and a nasty offensive line.
And you're gonna throw to Aaron Jones. Yeah.
You have a silver platter for this young buck. He better ball out.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna push back though, and I'm gonna be a little biased. You want to know who's gonna be handing the ball off a lot this year? Justin Herbert.
To Najee Harris, yeah.
No, Omir Hampton. I think Omir Hampton has better odds. Hear me out. I think he has better. I think that he. Let me ask you a question: are the Raiders better than the Chargers as a team?
No, not at all.
I think that Omarion Hampton's going to have a better season than Ashton Genty this year.
The only thing is that the tough part is I think the Raiders play from behind every game of the season.
Exactly.
The only thing is I don't know. I think Genty's gonna be a monster.
No, I don't disagree.
So Genty's odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year. He's plus 250 with Cam Ward.
Yep.
Hunter's plus 600. McMillan 1300. Hampton's 1400. So he's 5. Tosh Shaw 1500 as well. Matthew Golden's right up there. Shadeur Sanders, get him out of here. Won't even play a game.
You don't think so?
No. I think there's 3 quarterbacks better than him on roster. Sorry, 4.
4?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun with a torn Achilles.
Shadeur Sanders, yep. Okay, so we'll touch just really quickly on MLB.
Yep.
We did have this past weekend series between Dodgers and Yankees. I'll bring
Did
up
see that.
where Judge and Ohtani. Judge had 3 home runs. I think Ohtani had 2.
2. Yep.
Talk about 2 juggernauts going at it. 2 already favorites for MVP. Judge is minus 6,000
It's
to
gonna
win
be
AL MVP.
It's Judge.
Okay. Are you big baseball?
As a Pirates fan, no, not this year.
I had this argument with my friends the other day.
Okay.
Do you think Aaron Judge is a I don't want to say better baseball player right now, but do you think Aaron Judge is giving Mike Trout a run for his money career-wise?
Yeah.
I think so. Athletically,
100%.
Mike Trout, I think, is the most gifted baseball player of all time.
You think so?
Athletically, Trout is unbelievable, but I think Judge is giving him a run for his money. I think one more MVP ties it, and you talk about being in playoffs way more times than Mike Trout, more home runs each year.
Well, I mean,
batting average of 400 this year.
It's tough because Mike ended up staying with the Angels when he could have left.
Aaron Judge has been loyal too.
Yeah, to the Yankees. I would also be loyal. Kind of hard not to be loyal to a team like that.
It's just like Judge is constantly taking a step up.
I agree.
He went from being a strikeout machine to probably the best eyes in baseball. Him and Soto are best eyes in baseball in terms of being able to walk. Yep. Stay and be just vigilant when it comes to plate appearances.
Yeah,
so I would. That's a big argument we're having. Is Judge going to go down better all the time as Trout? And I think so.
Well, let me ask you a better question. Could Judge go down as one of the best Yankees, if not the best Yankee of all time?
Yes.
He
needs to win a World Series.
He needs to win a couple of World Series. Let's be honest.
If you're talking like performance-wise, not World Series championships, he'll go down.
Yeah,
not like
for sure. But
top
it was different.
It's
a different game.
It's tough to beat Ruth, Gehrig,
Mantle,
maybe even Yogi. But Judge is definitely up there.
Yeah, he's top 10. I would.
But he needs to really cement himself right near the top. He needs to. 100%.
No, I agree.
He'll go down as one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he already is
because he's batting 400 this year.
I know,
right.
So insane,
right.
Dude.
A point or 2 below 400, depending on when this.
Could you imagine if he was in like the steroid era? Him, Barry Bonds, and McGuire and Sosa. That'd be so sick.
80 home runs, and they would
80
be
homers,
800 feet.
That'd be so sick.
800 feet far.
I would watch that.
All right, so let's move on to some news in the hobby. Games. I feel like GameStop's making a lot of news.
A lot of
lately.
news.
A lot for Pokemon.
Ton of news.
For kind of what their future plans are with what they've been doing. But I kept seeing first for Pokemon that they were that they had big product releases and everybody was waiting outside the stores. But they just put out this week they're gonna host a Whatnot stream for Pokemon TCG.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Debut live stream Saturday at 7 p.m.
Well, they were selling Gary V's V Friends.
Yep.
All that
and
stuff.
he went there too.
Yep. I saw that on release.
I mean, I know we talked about this a little bit because I remember we were talking maybe like week one of the podcast about how you can go to GameStop and turn in your slabs,
sell your stuff,
and sell them. And that's what I do. Is I'll take $5 slabs and I'll grab like 3 of them when I'm going to buy a new game. Totals up $20, and I get
discounted
$20
off your
game.
game. That's dope. That's
you
smart.
can either get cash for less.
I need to do that.
Or
I have so many.
credit.
I have so many J.K. Dobbin PSA 7 select field level.
You know what
silvers.
I wonder where they go to.
I don't know.
Do you think they just go like to like the owner's house or something of GameStop and you just like hoard them? In,
You
like,
just
a
hoard
vault?
them. No, I bet they put
Because
them on eBay or something.
nobody's turning in a massive card to GameStop.
No.
But do we get to that point?
They only allow. I feel like I remember reading an article on it. They only allow like $600 and less, $600 card or less.
Yeah, nothing
or
crazy.
something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
So I will say too. I just throwing this out there because I just thought about because we haven't talked about it yet. Did you end up seeing the display of the Pulse Skeens in Dick's?
I did.
It looks really cool.
It's a lot. They did a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question because we were talking about it on stream the other day. When, not if, when Paul Skeens gets traded, do you think they argue that goes with him in his contract? Or do you think it stays?
It might go to the Dick's wherever he goes.
Do you think so? Yeah, that'd be funny.
I don't know. That's a great question.
Like,
I
with
don't
the
know.
like, if you're a Dick's Sporting Goods in Pittsburgh, are you keeping that card?
Is it going to the one in New York City? Like when he's a Yankee?
He
Like,
probably will go to the Yankees, dude.
Dude,
That'd be so stupid.
I don't like how it's going to create an awful precedent if Paul Skeens actually gets
Well,
traded. He's
obviously,
not going to get
dude.
traded. I don't think he is.
You don't think we're gonna move off of him?
Not yet. I don't think for a couple of years. If they trade him this season, that will go down as
The worst, yeah.
the dumbest trade I've ever heard.
It's Bob.
He's in his second year.
I know. Hey, listen, you're preaching to the choir.
That's crazy.
That's all we got. Jared Jones out for the season. Mitch Keller sucked all year. Sorry, Mitch, if you're listening. I'm sad. I'm just a sad fan.
So we'll hit on a couple things and we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
So we had the Walmart live this past week. Shout out Bria and Zach.
ZC.
Putting on the first ever football break for Walmart's new live shop platform. What are your thoughts? Did you get to tune in? Did you see
I
how
did.
it went?
I heard of it after I was live during the whole situation, but I just think it's a cool venture. It's something new, something to try out, and obviously we have Fanatics Live and we have Whatnot. I think it's a good idea to test other platforms and just see what it's about.
And what they kind of did too is they really broke down the breaks for everybody. So ZC did a great job of like explaining like, hey, this is a parallel you only see in hobby boxes.
Right. It's mainly for those newer collectors that are trying to get into it that don't really know anything about anything.
And they really used it as like an educational commentary where they got talking. It was a low buy-in price. They were able to, they did single hobby box PYT of Select, and then they sold optic blasters.
Right.
But no, it was good. Chat seemed active.
Yeah, there was like 2,000 people in there.
Walmart was commenting.
Crazy.
So it seemed like a good time. It's interesting because eBay recently got into that space too.
Yep.
Not
their
to
live streams.
go somewhere else, but eBay recently got into that stream, and I'm surprised. Honestly, dude, I've gone into those. That's why I think Walmart could work. Is like kind of like, I don't know if you consider eBay a retailer, but like kind of in that element of online store,
right?
Where it works, dude. I've turned into those streams. There's like 900 people in those streams.
Really?
Where it could.
I've never watched one of those streams.
Really work with Walmart, and they could see a lot of success. I'm honestly wondering when WeTheHobby goes to eBay.
That'd be
Dude,
cool.
I've just tuned in those streams. They do well. I'm wondering when we're going to YouTube. I'll be honest.
That'd be sweet. Or Twitch.
I always tune into YouTube streams.
Me too.
Mainly because Whatnot. I'm begging you, if for some crazy reason you're listening, we need a Roku or a Fire Stick app. Really need it.
That'd be
telling you,
sick.
I think it'd be great for what?
I mean, you
your
could share play
platform.
to your.
You can.
But
Not
that's a
everybody has
pain.
share play, or you can't.
Fair.
Sometimes, depending on your phone or whatever your setup,
Yeah.
you can't click out.
Fair.
Can't close your phone. I would love, because there's so many times I just lay in bed and I watch breaks,
Right.
and I just can't with the Whatnot app. Fanatics doesn't have it yet, but YouTube, like, that's easy. It's just obviously like it's vertical.
Right. And there's some great
just like-
breakers on there that have been on there for a long time.
100 I
know.
love what I don't even know. I'll talk about it. Like I love watching Hitman.
Yeah,
I'm a big
Hitman's
Hitman
great.
fan. I love
I
watching
mean, you got the whole
Hitman.
Blast crew that's been there forever.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest breaking companies,
Yeah.
if not the. You got Leighton that's on there, and they've been on there forever.
Mhm.
So yeah, no.
I would love for them to get an app just so I can lay in bed and watch. I think
agree,
a lot
dude.
of people would too.
Oh yeah, I
People are
would.
sick of holding their phone.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if you can buy
Drains my
on it.
battery. What not if you're listening? I don't know if you could work on that somehow, but
But give me a TV app.
dude,
I don't know
yeah,
how hard it is, but I think you guys will be all right.
I love it.
All right, so that'll wrap up this week's episode.
Heck yeah.
Buying the hobby. Honestly, a great episode. We
Yeah,
got to talk
great
about
episode.
a lot of the market. I think sometimes we get very distracted
A ton.
and we just get yapping.
That's the whole point of it, though.
I know.
We like to have fun about
I'm with you. I'm with you. But it was good. Got to talk about a lot with the NBA Finals,
Yep.
football, where the markets are, some of the players who to invest in, who not to touch. I'm telling you, I leave these streams every week with what we talk about, and I'm like, all right, what can I go buy? Like I truly do.
I
Last
like that.
week
I know
after-
he was.
When we
you
talked
were-
about the Brandon Miller,
right.
I spent
I know you were sending me pictures, dude.
hours.
You're a beast.
hours. Another guy, I'll give you my guy of the week that I'm investing in, Devin Carter, Gold Prism Autos, less than $100.
Devin Carter.
Top lottery pick out of Providence, All American, Devin Carter.
Okay.
Point guard of the future in Sacramento.
Hell yeah.
Gold Prism Autos, less than $100.
Okay.
That's my guy of the week.
love
So
it.
that'll wrap it up here on Buying the Hobby. Make sure to follow us on all podcast streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube if you're not watching there already.
Yep.
And then follow us on TikTok too. Or TikTok's been booming.
TikTok,
lately.
yeah, even on
Peop-
Instagram.
Oh, didn't even get to talk.
Sorry, I didn't mean
guys.
to jump the gun on you.
No. Guys, I would never reseal a pack.
Yeah.
You probably
This
cut
guy's
that, but-
resealing packs.
No, great. There you go. That's clickbait. You can cut that out.
I'm just kidding.
No, there was a football card. And an
yeah,
NBA
how
pack.
crazy is that?
We did not put it in. But no, yeah. Make sure to follow us on Instagram as well, Buying the Hobby. Yeah. And that'll do it for us, and we'll see you next week.
We move.